Hello and welcome back. I'm John Stark from MacTheMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and I'm continuing on with the Transformers movies. This is Transformers: Age of Extinction. It's currently available on Paramount Plus and has audio description. I'm trying to stay really upbeat because I keep filming this review and it keeps descending into madness. I'm not a big fan of this, so we're just going to keep it short. This film stars Mark Wahlberg instead of anybody from any previous iteration of this film, along with Nicola Peltza and or Pels Nicola Pels. How do you say her name? I don't know. Um, and Stanley Tucci's in here. We've got Kelsey Grammer, Jack Rayner. We've also got in the voice cast for the Transformers. They've added like John Goodman and Ken Watanabe, sort of notably among the new Transformers. In addition to people who typically do a lot of voice work, like John DiMaggio, who you may know as Bender. And it's it takes place in the future. There's like remember Chicago posters. I don't know what happened to the rest of the cast. I don't know why none of them are here. I don't know, like Michael Bay hit a reset button, and we have Mark Wahlberg doing essentially what he does in a lot of his films, where he plays just a guy, just a random guy who finds himself like at the center of an event, for no discernible reason whatsoever, with no real skill set of use. He's not ex-military. He's not a badass. He's just a dad, I think, who works on cars. And that's how, basically, it's the same thing with Shia LaBeouf. It's their proximity to Bumblebee that gets them into the thing. And that's how they get involved in the Transformers plot and the war between, there's this thing that Stanley Tucci's been working on because he's the evil one of the film. He's replaced Frances McDormand, I think, was the one from the last film in his job, and now it's Stanley Tucci, and it's been other people before. And in we've also got T.J. Miller, who, the hot take on this, he's one of the best things about the film, but he's also since has put himself in a position where we're really not supposed to be saying that. So, but acknowledgement is, I didn't like this film the first time I saw it, and to be totally honest, this was back when, nobody had a problem with T.J. Miller when he, spoiler alert, dies. I was just kind of like, well, that was the best part of the movie, because he was essentially the comic relief. At that point in the film, when he dies, you're at a point in the film where nothing has really significantly happened except for a rather odd amount of explanation about Romeo and Juliet laws. Like an uncomfortable amount. Like Michael Bay really did the legwork here on Romeo. And I don't know why. I don't know why he didn't just put Jack Rayner and Nicola Peltz together and just have the dad not accepting of the new boyfriend, because that happens in every single thing ever. Or, he could just be, oh, I don't like him. He's older than you. Just a few years, I mean, like, there are ways of doing it without putting such definition on it, and then like educating the audience on Romeo and Juliet laws in the middle of a Transformers movie. Like, I think that is why Michael Bay's returns on these films start dipping, is because he kind of starts forgetting that these are Transformers movies and we're supposed to be really involved in the plot. But unfortunately, his plot here involves the Dinobots. So it becomes kind of muddled, because you've got things that are kind of silly and he doesn't quite know how to introduce them. This is also a film from the same time period where everybody was really trying to go after China's box office, and China has some interesting laws about films opening in China. And if you are a, multi-million-dollar production that's big, like Transformers or one of the Marvel projects or something like that, you really want that audience. And one of the ways to go around it is to look like you're a Chinese co-production. And how Transformers does that here is by including a large chunk of the cast who is Chinese, to the point where Bing Bing Fan, who was in X-Men Days of Future Past, she's been in some other things as well. She's in this. She has a significant role. So this has been done before, and to the point where I've even heard there was like one of the Marvel films did it. I want to say one of the Iron Man films did it, and there was even like a slightly altered cut of the film that was released in China that had those Chinese characters with a little bit more to do. So this is a little bit of a pandering film. So it's like it's trying to do too much. It's putting way too much emphasis on introducing us to new humans, because I guess Michael Bay felt like we needed them. We needed brand new humans across the scale. This isn't just like, well, Shia, we need somebody other than Shia. You know, this is, everyone's gone. Like Josh Duhamel, John Turturro, you know, I mean, like everybody just vanished from the face of the film. So, he has a lot of introducing to do again, and it bogs down the film because we have to learn who new humans are, and we have to have their new connection to Bumblebee. So it's like you're watching Transformers, the first one, and then but you've already been introduced to the Transformers. So what ends up happening is a 2-hour and 45-minute runtime, which is completely unnecessary, but that's the only way Michael Bay could feel like he was getting even a semblance of plot in there, is by cramming everything into a much longer than needed runtime. And it's not a fun 2-hour and 45 minutes. It's a loud 2 hours and 45 minutes, but the plot to this is kind of dumb and kind of a mishmash. It feels like we're just kind of making sequels now, riding on brand recognition, and now we have Mark Wahlberg, who is objectively a bigger star than Shia LaBeouf. However, he's doing the same thing like he does in this year's The Union, in 2024's The Union, where he's just a random dude who suddenly has to save the world. You know, he's in the middle of everything. So I don't like this film, and it has never worked for me. It's like now the third time I've had to sit through it for purposes of like reviewing it, or reviewing like the Transformers franchise. And I'm hoping I can just put this review on my channel and just leave it there for posterity. That's why I wanted to re-record it, make sure that it was at least decent and not just me angry ranting about this film on and on for days. So that's a short little thing. The audio description, considering what this film has to do, is nice, but it's kind of silly, and it does feel like a lot of CG imagery fighting other CG imagery at some points, and it gets kind of lost and is trying to catch up on all the Transformers names and also follow the humans and people who are running. I don't know why we have a Transformers that smokes a cigar. Like, that just doesn't make any sense to me, but just like life choices, you know? But having seen this film visually, I thought the audio description for it matched, honestly, the negative imagery that I have for this film in my mind. So it's not like I was looking forward to any of the scenes. It's not like I was like, oh man, there's this one great scene. Pretty much I walked into this film with tremendous trepidation, to say the least. And I have left it now with a review for you and a grade. I'm giving Transformers Age of Extinction a D+. There's still one more film after this, which shows me that the franchise could actually get worse. So, and I'll be reviewing that film next because I'm a glutton for punishment. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And I will see you guys on the other side.